plant and machinery 3 lakhs. %% loan. Interest amount is equal to 60,000. Rate of interest is equal to 15%. Therefore, loan is equal to 60,000 divided by 15%. How much? Four lakhs. So 4 lakhs plus 2 lakhs plus 3 lakhs. Liability side total 9 lakhs. As I said, 3 lakhs plus 4 lakhs, 7 lakhs. So there is a difference of 2 lakhs. Okay. Debt service coverage ratio. Debt service coverage ratio. Profit available for debt service divided by principal plus interest. See, the purpose of this debt coverage ratio is to know whether there is any principal repayment. This is given as 1. What is the profit after tax? Profit after tax. $80,000 plus interest 60,000 plus non-cash expenses like depreciation 1,20,000 divided by P plus 60,000. Principal is equal to 2 lakhs. So the debt service coverage ratio helps to identify principal repayment. So total debt 4 lakhs less repaid. Final debt 2 lakhs. You can total this 7 lakhs. 7 lakhs. In 99% cases, this kind of problems won't repeat in the exam. So these are especially advanced problems required only when 16 marks final exam questions are there. But the maximum marks for each problem has been allotted is just 10 marks. Therefore, the concept, why we are including this problem is to highlight the new segments and to enable you to analyze the impact of this kind of problems. If you are able to solve this problem, then you can solve any problem in the ratio analysis. So problem number 11. X company has made plans for the next year. It is estimated that the company will employ total assets of 8 lakhs. 50% of assets being funded by borrowed capital at an interest cost of 8%. The direct costs for the year are estimated to be 4,80,000. All other operating expenses are estimated at 80,000. The goods will be sold to the customer at 150% of direct cost. Tax rate is assumed to be 50%. You are required to calculate net profit margin, return on assets, asset turnover ratio, return on bonus equity. First, assets 8 lakhs. So this will be funded by both debt and equity in the proportion of 50% each. So interest rate 8%. Direct cost is equal to 4,80,000. See, my dear friends, direct cost means any cost which is directly charged to trading account or any cost which is related to production is known as direct cost. So this direct cost in accounting sense we call it as COGS. Any cost which is charged to P&L account in accounting sense we call it as operating expenses. In costing they call it as indirect costs. Then operating expenses or indirect expenses given as 80,000. This is direct cost, this is indirect cost. They are saying that sales is equal to direct cost into 150%. That is, sales are 150% of COGS. So given that the tax rate is equal to 50%. So this is the basic information we have. They asked to calculate net profit margin. What is the formula to get net profit margin? PAT divided by sales into 100. Do you know PAT? No, because we don't have direct access. Do you have sales? No, we don't have direct access. Then what to do? We have to find out both PAT and sales. Second one. Return on assets. This was already discussed. PAT divided by sales. PAT divided by total assets. So how much money that was deployed on assets and how much return that we earned on the assets. Profit divided by assets will bring you return on assets. So we don't know these two components. No. We know this component, this is given, but we don't know PAT. Third one. Asset turnover ratio is equal to sales by total assets. It reveals how much return we are getting for each rupee invested on, how much revenue we are getting for each rupee invested on assets. We don't know the total assets amount, we don't know the revenue. We know the total assets only, we don't know the revenue. Fourth one. Return on bonus equity, ROE, is equal to profit available to equity shareholders divided by equity. Now, to compute all these ratios, we need PAT, sales, earnings available to equity shareholders and equity. So, for this purpose, in order to highlight the profit, we must prepare an income statement. This is one of the working. Tell me, sales. 4,80,000 is the direct cost into 150%. 7,20,000 less direct cost. This is gross profit. So they are not saying operating expenses includes interest or not. That's why this is EBIT. They are saying that half of the assets were funded with debt at an interest rate of 8%. So 4 lakhs into 8%, 32,000. Less tax at the rate of 50%. So this is earnings available to shareholders. We have only source equity. That's why the entire earnings belongs to shareholders. Working was completed. Now (8.89%). Second one, assets turnover ratio. Sales by total assets. 7,20,000 divided by 8 lakhs. (0.9). Third one, return on assets is equal to PAT divided by total assets. What is the PAT here? 64,000 earned on 8 lakhs investment. Eight percent. See, shareholders are left with 64,000 profit. They have 50% investment in the total assets. This is only for academic interest. See, return on assets 8%, but ROE is equal to 16%. If you are getting 8% return on assets, why did you get 16% return on your investment? That is shareholders' investment. See, so on 8 lakhs, you are getting a post-tax profit of 64,000. You have calculated that net profit, return on assets was 8%. See, this 8% has been ascertained after deducting interest on debt funds. Therefore, you are getting 8% on total assets, but no part of this 8% belongs to lenders. In other words, this 8% directly goes to whom? Equity shareholders. That's why ROE is equal to ROA divided by 1 minus percentage of funds from debt capital. So 8% divided by 0.5, this comes to 16%. Here ROE is greater than ROA, that is because of excess return earned by the company on the debt capital. See, out of debt capital, out of return earned on the debt capital, interest was already paid. So the balance return is always available to equity shareholders. See, like this. But they are getting 16%. What is your operating profit? 1,60,000. So equity, debt, both are there, 50%, 50%. When you have 50%, 50% capital contribution, the profit has to be sliced in equal proportion. This is the total EBIT. So from this, you have to pay the interest 32,000. There is no interest here. 48,000. 80,000. Profit after tax 3%. So 24,000 contributed from debt funds, 40,000 from own funds. Equity. On their own capital, they have 10% return. From the debt capital, they got 6% additional return. Put together, the total return was 16%. This is how the ROE has to be segregated. ROE is the ultimate or eventual return earned by the shareholders from the company. So ROE comprises of return from their own capital plus return from any other source of funds employed by the company to finance its assets. See, you may use preference share capital, you may use debt capital, both are fixed obligation funds. They need only fixed return. If you got any excess return over and above the fixed return, that excess return passed on to the shareholders. As a result, they are getting leverage by using external source. That's why the return is always greater than ROA.